couple of steps on how to make a really good espresso with one of your espresso machines. So in general, I will show you a couple of things that you need to prepare such a good coffee. I'm not an expert, I'm just a beginner playing with coffee and different milks, so I invite you to comment that video afterwards and tell me what you think about it. And maybe you have some additional questions. I probably won't cover everything in this video, but anyway, let's give it a try. So in general, what you need is some sort of a machine. So I have a Gadget Classic. It's a really nice semi-professional or more amateurish machine for espresso making with the 58 millimeters portafilter, which is with an industrial standard. Then what we need is some kind of a grinder. So you may have your coffee grinded. In general, I would definitely recommend buying beans, so roasted coffee, preferably roasted after 7-10 days. That will be the best. So you need some sort of a grinder. I have a Sage grinder in here, but if you have your coffee grinded already, then that's fine. What else? We need definitely some nice cups for coffee, and so I have 2 of them up here. Generally, we'd be looking for something not that tall and quite wide, so you could make some latte art, so later on you can practice with your latte art or with milk, which is kind of a next level there. Right now we're talking on how to get a good tasty coffee. Then you need some beans, and this is quite important because you need really good quality beans. So the beans that I have is Anna Soraguji. This is a type of a bean that one of my local coffee shops, they import them from Ethiopia, so it's a good place. And in general, what I invite you to do is to look for your local coffee shops, coffee stores, check and make sure that the beans that you buy will be relatively fresh. These were roasted around 10 days ago, so they'd be perfect for making coffee. What else? You need a tamper. It's not like crazy essential. You may have a plastic tamper that comes with the machine, but it's not that good really, and you need something a bit heavier, preferably stainless steel, that will have some heaviness and make sure that it fits perfectly your portafilter. Some kind of a coffee spoon. Of course, a pitcher. Okay, so if you later on at some stage you feel like, oh, you'd like to go into the next level, you'd definitely like to buy a kind of a coffee jug or a milk jug that you'd be frothing your milk in. And then another option for that jug to use is to pour the milk into your coffee and make some latte art. Another thing that you need, that's quite important if you're geeky, if you're like me, some kind of a scale, so you could get some measurements and be more accurate in how much coffee you put in, and how much coffee you extract, so how much coffee comes out of your espresso machine. And so I have a really simple scale that goes to 0.0, so 1 decimal of detail. You can go with a specific coffee scale that would be more expensive and it would have a much greater detail in scale, in weight. So yeah, let's get it started. So in general, what I recommend first is grab those cups. and you can actually pour some hot water into it. And the reason for that is to make sure that your cups are super hot. So when the coffee is poured in, it's poured into a hot cup, or at least a warm cup. And then in general, we have a warming plate up here, usually in most of those espresso machines. So I keep them there to make sure that they're constantly hot. Before you make the coffee, I'd recommend also turning on your machine for around 20-30 minutes to make sure that the boiler inside is super hot and the water there is ready to make that coffee. So what we'll do first is we'll have to measure some coffee. So depending if you're doing a single or double shot, and depending of course on many variables, depending on the coffee type, but in general what I give as an advice is that if you'll be having a double filter, I'd recommend 18-19 grams for a cup. So if you'd have a single filter, or apologies, if you'd be doing a double shot, that would be 18-19 grams. If that would be a single shot, you'd be talking about 9 grams of coffee. I'd be doing a double shot and then dividing it in both of the cups. So I'd be putting here around 19 grams. So you're always kind of accurate with the weight. Of course, like I mentioned, you could be more accurate. That may be my another purchase, so more detailed scale. So once you have that, we have 19 grams, and straight away close that lid and make sure there's as little air as possible coming to your coffee. It smells perfect, so we throw that into the grinder. And then the grind size. Okay, so depending on your grinder, you need to grind it quite fine. Up here I have a Sage grinder and I'd be setting it up on setting number 2. I could go to 0, which would give me even a finer grind. In general, you'd have to play with this, and it depends on the grinder, it depends on the burrs, depends on the quality of that stuff, and then depends on the beans too. So many variables that you could play with. Right now I kind of used that coffee for some time, and I know that I have to grind it in another like setting number 2. So what I will do next is you take this super hot portafilter that was sitting there and you clean it dry. So that's quite important. Make sure that the coffee that goes into it's not gonna get wet. Okay, it's super hot, but it's dry. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grind this stuff. Okay, so we have the coffee grinder thing here. Should be able to see that. Lovely, beautiful coffee. It smells amazing. So what I usually do is you have to prepare it for tamping. So I would just gently tap it from one side and kind of spread it. So I go kind of one way and another, then left and right, up and down, left and right, and then you spread it relatively evenly, as much as you can. And then with the tamper, make sure that your portafilter is straight, and you gently just leave it there. Okay? You have to make sure that it's quite even, so when you look at it here, you can see that it's quite even on each of the side. Okay, so what I do, I use my fingers to kind of feel it that it's perfect before I actually put the pressure. Okay, so what you do is you kind of put your arm 90 degrees uh, like that, and you gently push. And then you kind of spin it, so you polish that top. So at the end, it would look more or less like that. If you can see it, hopefully yes. So that's nicely pressed. Okay, just polish it. You don't have to polish it that much. Just once will be enough. So what you do is you basically pour a little bit of water to make sure that your machine will be ready to go, and this hot water will kind of heat up all this kind of group head system. So we pour a little bit of water. Okay, that water is poured, so we'll just go ahead and lock it in. Okay guys, so once again I will just purge that. Make sure that it's super hot, the group head itself, and I just gently clean it with a dry cloth, making sure that everything here is nicely dry. I lock my portafilter, and those cups that were warming up, I'm just throwing out the water, and with a dry side just dry it up here and dry it up here. Okay guys, so once it's locked, we have the hot water, we have the hot cups, so we are just pouring the latte, so let's go for it. And you're looking for that pour, so it will be coming slowly from both sides, and it will start to get the speed, so you have to make sure that you cut it in the right time. Usually you'd be looking for 25-30 seconds, okay? Depending on your tamping and depending on your grind, depending how fresh your coffee is. But I kind of look at it and it's grand for me. So that's how the coffee would look like. Not sure if you can see it. So what we're doing now is we're pretty much leaving that to heat, and we're preparing our milk for frothing. So this machine is a little bit funny, and every single machine requires some different procedure in order to make sure that the steam has the appropriate temperature, and it gives you enough of a strength to froth that milk, to steam that milk. This is a one boiler machine, so it doesn't have that power when it comes to frothing and steaming the milk, and that's why I have a couple of ways around that. Okay, anyway, what you do is the pitcher, you make sure that it's relatively cold. Okay, you can keep it in the cold water and even in the fridge a few minutes before you pour the milk. And what I do is there's a special button here to switch on for steam, so it will start kind of preparing the steam. So in general we'd be putting the milk. When it comes to the type of a milk, generally the full fat milk would be the best when it comes to getting that nice milk, nice emulsified milk, so you could actually make a latte art. But you could also try a soy milk, almond milk, hazelnut milk, and I definitely recommend those. It adds this special flavor to the coffee. So right now I have my pitcher kind of poured for 2 coffees, so it's kind of around where the spout starts. It's up here. I'll be more than that, as you can see. And so what I will be doing is I will be just heating on my machine, kind of purging a little bit of water out of it, so kind of preparing it for rock and roll, and we'll do it straight away. So I'll just move it like that. So you put it ever so gently here, and you give it a full gas. And what you do here is try to create this gentle whirlpool, and you can hear this hissing sound, which is actually adding the air bubbles or air into the milk itself. So I'm kind of putting it at an angle, and adding, just keeping it gently on the surface of milk, and adding more and more of that air. And at some stage you have to give it enough. There's a certain temperature to make sure that afterwards you just don't add any more air. So you just leave that jug and let it spin. Let it spin until you feel that it's hot enough. So you're kind of touching the side of it, and you check, and if you cannot hold it, that's when it's kind of enough. Okay. So that will be kind of enough for us. So what you do is just pour a little bit, just clean that nozzle here, and we're looking at the milk right now. So what we do with milk, you can see that there are certain air bubbles with that milk. So we just gently spin it, and we just tap it. Actually remove those air bubbles. Just switch the machine here. So you can see it's kind of like a emulsified crema on the top. So we'll try to do some stuff here. So you take your cup that you've prepared, and we'll try to do some latte art. Not gonna work probably, but let's give it a shot. So latte art would be another story, but yeah, that will be some later time. Okay, so we have 1 cup. I'll leave maybe some photos at the end of my latte art. It's not gonna work today. It's just there's not enough crema from coffee. But that's it. You have those really jolly good coffees that you can enjoy with your family. So this is it. This is up here. Let me try that coffee. It's really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video, and if you have any questions, just post it down below, subscribe. If you'd like any other videos, I'd be happy to record them and upload them on YouTube. And thanks for watching. Take care and enjoy your cup of coffee.